Good evening, Dr. Kemper. This evening, I will be talking to you about the two books that we had to read in class. The two books are Drive and Predictable Success. So let's get into it. One of the main themes I got from the book Drive by Daniel Pink was the carrot and the stick. As one of my bullets says, you can use this idea and you can compare it in a lot of different ways throughout life. It's kind of a risk or a punishment versus a reward. The carrot obviously is understood to be the reward. You're always going for the reward, trying to get the reward, whatever it is, in whatever situation. And then on the other side of the reward, if you don't achieve the reward, you get the punishment. This is depending on what scenario you're in. It could be getting fired or getting demoted or anything that's not good, and anything that can symbolize the carrot or the reward in the situation. You can use this in multiple things in life. The idea I can use is baseball. The carrot's always to hit the ball hard or hit a home run or a double or a triple. And singles are good, but they're not what everyone wants. The stick would obviously be striking out or getting out in any way or making an error or something like that. And the reward, ultimately, if you're playing defense, would be to get the out or catch the ball or make the play on the ground ball or anything that happens to you in the game. Like I said, the carrot and the stick can be used in multiple aspects throughout life. When it comes to motivation and getting motivation, you have two types of motivation. And the first one we're going to speak of is extrinsic. Extrinsic motivation is anything that can be used on the outside as motivation, whether it's getting money, like if money motivates you, that's an outside or an external factor, and you allow that to judge you and lead you in the directions and motivate you in the right ways. But there are downsides to these extrinsic motivation factors, and one of the downsides is these are only short-term. These are only for short-term satisfaction. Yeah, it's good to have the money, but in the long term, if you just got money, what do you have? You haven't really accomplished anything, and kind of just in the same spot. Or another example could be better grades. Yeah, you got better grades, but that's just for your current time period. The grades help you then. They don't necessarily help you your whole life. The next factor is intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic is the opposite of external in a way, as it is represented as internal. It's the internal satisfaction or doing whatever for your personal satisfaction. One idea that I can think of would be a kid playing with a toy. You don't pay the kid to play with a toy. He sees a toy and he goes to play with it. He enjoys it, and he doesn't do it for anything else other than his personal internal satisfaction. One good thing about intrinsic motivation is going to be autonomy. And how autonomy helps is basically you have a drive within yourself to get something accomplished. It's not anything else like money or something like that that's motivating you. Is just yourself. You're driven within inside, and ultimately you're making yourself better. The next step would be mastery, and this is practice after practice. As a baseball player, I want to hit home runs, I want to hit doubles, I want to hit triples. So I have to master my swing. I have to deliberately practice my swing each and every day, and I got to get better at it. It's like I seen an example. If you put a key in a door 100 times, it's going to get shinier and shinier each time because you're using that key. You're getting better at it, and it's helping. And the last one would be have a purpose. You got to have a reason you're doing something, because then if you don't have a reason you're doing something, you're kind of just wasting your time, and it's not really helpful. So have a purpose, do everything with a reason, and you'll be successful. The next half of this video, I will be talking about the second book, Predicting Success, and I thought this was a good book. I learned a bunch of different things. I read things, understood things a bunch of different ways than I've always, I guess you can say, been taught or learned it. But Uh, One of the first things about predicting success in a business, you got some stages, your three early stages. The first stage is going to be your early struggle. Throughout your early struggle is you're just getting started up. You're just starting out, getting new customers, growing and expanding your business. One key thing is, are people buying your product? So if you're a restaurant, are you having customers come in and day out? Are they enjoying your food? Are they promoting you to other people? Is it selling? Honestly, is the way to say it. Because if you're not selling anything, you're not making any profit, and it's not good for your business. Another good point, for the early struggle is it's always good to have 3 times as much money as you need. So say if you need $20,000 a month for whatever, like buying food and stuff, it's always good to have 60,000 per se, just triple the amount just to be on the safe side. And as you can begin to pile more and more up, you're obviously going to be expanding your business and growing it. And then you go to the second stage, which is the fun stage. The stage where you're making money, you're making profit, and you're also satisfying customers and growing your business through your customers. And it's fun to watch. It's kind of like I guess you can say kind of like a kid growing up, because they're getting smarter, they're getting taller, faster, stronger, all those things. And it's fun to watch. It's got to be pretty interesting to do. But of course, with the good, there is the bad. A good business may not run into this issue, but some businesses, I'm assuming most businesses, run into the whitewater stage, which is where the demand beats the supply. If you have more customers coming in than you can supply food to, then you have a problem. You're getting overwhelmed. People, like, stuff starts backing up, causing issues, and ultimately you're just at a standstill until you get out of that stage and hire more people and get to where your supply can meet your demand again. And obviously there's ways to beat the whitewater stage. And it's, as you start a business, all the priorities are with you're trying to do this, you're getting everything accomplished. But the more your business expands, you can begin to add more and more people to your company, and you can take the task off your shoulders necessarily. You can say, hey, I need you to do this for me. And that's just one less thing you have to do. And that's something that other people have to do for you. And it essentially helps you out. Yeah, like I said, basically assign tasks for other people. And if you need to hire people, hire people. I mean, if you have the demand, you have to meet it with the supply. So you got to supply the demand with the people and whatever you need in that situation. And also it's good to allow people to make decisions within your business. It doesn't always have to be the final decision through you. It could be your managers or the people that work under you making the decisions instead of you every time. And this essentially just makes your business run smoother throughout the time. The final part is installing 2 systems. And these 2 systems they're helpful. And the first one is called data, debate, decide, and defer. So, I mean, you get your data, say from the first month of operation or the first week or so, and you go over it with your team, your crew, the people that you've hired, and y'all debate over it. You go to the second stage. Debate what needs to happen. Do we need to do this? Do we need to do that? But in the end, come to a decision, go one way or another. And if you can't, then ultimately you'll just defer it to the next available group of people within your company. So if you need to go to the finance department, they can handle the finance side or situations like that. And the second system is what Google uses is the 20% rule. And it says to take risks 20% time of the day. Take risks 20% time, 20% of the time during the day. This is basically, you don't always have to play by the rules. You don't always have to take the safe route. If you see something and it's taking a risk, take it. Don't take a risk every time, obviously, because you run out of stuff to take risks for, but take your risk whenever you need to, but don't go overboard with it, and just do it as you need it. And the final part is just let your employees be creative. I was reading about Google and how during the day, they allow their employees to work on certain projects, whatever the employee wants to do. And this allows them to be creative. They're still getting work done, and they're just not set to this one hassle of the same job all day over and over. You allow them to be free and be creative in other aspects, and this ultimately will help the morale and it will help your business in the end. Thank you. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.